February 14th, 2022. I'm your host of Drug Dealers to Businessmen, and this is the weekly Tap In, and I am tapping in. What is really good, family? I know I switched the times back on you guys, but I'm pretty sure, pretty confident that you'll tap in when you guys get the notification. If you haven't got the notification or you're not on that list, make sure you hit the subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe on that as well. Man, we got a heck of a show today. Some different type of show. And just want to let you know the reason why we actually changed the time on that for those who are tapping in live is because we're back on campus. So as many of you know, I do teach a couple of business courses at a couple of local universities. So they're requiring us to go back on campus. So those who are watching the live right now or the replay, you can see I'm dressed in my professor's uniform today. And that just goes to show you also too that you can wear many hats, man. And don't limit yourself to what you can do. This has always been a dream and a goal of mine. Anybody who's known me, who's been close to me, um, you know that this has been something that I've been working on for many years and has finally come to fruition. So where there is a will, there is absolutely a way. That's my one of my sayings is I believe that if you believe in something, you know, um, strong enough, you'll find the willpower to fight through all the obstacles. The universe will start to provide for you. Doesn't matter, it'll start to just move out of the way and give you the things that you've been desiring. It just may take some faith. So I want you guys to be thinking about that and working on your faith. Those who are just tapping in, make sure you put where you tapping in from, what city. Appreciate that. So we could definitely give you a shout out. Shout out to all our listeners all over the world who are listening: New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, North Africa, UK, France, Germany, Switzerland, Canada, Mexico, Honduras, Brazil, Chile. We had can't forget about some of my Asian countries, Korea, Japan. We're getting love all around the world. We get listens. So I really appreciate you guys tapping in. Every week I'm trying to give you more of me. I always see this as, and a lot of podcasters or hosts will tell you that oftentimes when we're talking to ourselves. It's just sometimes that people may find a common theme or going through something similar, but the majority of the time we're talking to ourselves, we're giving ourselves therapy. So it's not more of I wouldn't say it's more of an advice platform, but it's more therapeutic, whereas I'm talking to myself. I'm really trying to coach myself through something, right? And if there's witnesses or whatever, and there are people watching that can benefit from that, so be it. But ideally, that's exactly what I'm doing is talking to myself, trying to convince myself to keep going. And this weekend was unique to me because being in business, you have this hype around. As many of you guys know, the Super Bowl was just in LA yesterday. And, a lot of businesses, what's going on, homie? A lot of businesses were thriving and this and that. And it's one of those things, right? That a human emotion that we deal with, that why not me? Or am I too late for the party? Or is there not going to be another party? Am I too late to get this career cracking? Am I too late to start this business? Am I too late? Period. Nipsey Hussle has a song called Perfect Timing, and what he says is perfect timing seems like I'm too late. And that's how we feel. And it sucks, dog. I'm not even going to lie because you're thinking that you're ready, and that's the crazy part about it. Oftentimes we think that we're ready. And I'll give you my example is we did a pop-up on the same day as this event that was taking place. And we didn't get the traffic that we needed, or at least we thought we needed, and that's the thing too, is being careful what you wish for. And because oftentimes we'll wish for something, and if we're not prepared, well, then we're preparing ourselves for more embarrassment. We're not preparing ourselves for success. We're preparing ourselves for bad reputation. We're preparing ourselves for, other things that could potentially happen. Suing people sue you. It could be a dozen things that happens. And the thing that we often pray for, and ask God for, gifts and whatnot. We never say protect us from something that's not for us. And that's the trip. It's coming to terms with that, is being cool with not getting something, being cool with not being part of something, being cool with watching and appreciating the success of others. And I think that was my lesson, is watch other people get their bags. And you don't want to be the type of person that doesn't show up when other people get their bags. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna ignore it. I'm gonna turn my back on when you win, because then that's easy, because I don't have to see your success. Because looking at somebody's success and when they're winning is a tough one if you're taking L's, right? Or if you're perceptually you're taking L's, right? So oftentimes, what do? Oh man, I'm gonna ignore the success of his. I'm gonna act like I didn't see that. I'm gonna act like I don't. Oh, you did that, homie, or some late stuff. I get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we tapping in a little late. We switched it to 7. You see, I still got my work uniform on. They got us back on campus, so my apologies, but still delivering it. And that's the thing. We start to feel salty. We start to, you know, ah, it's like we gotta be able to go to somebody's party when they winning and really cheer for them, even when we potentially are taking an L. God wants to see that you cheerful. What do you always say? What's the I think it's in above you win cheerful givers, right? So if you giving love, if you're supposed to be supporting somebody, you need to be happy about it. And that's a tough one when you're going through whatever it is you're going through. That's a really tough cookie. And that's the difficulty. And one of the things that you need to figure out is how do I genuinely be happy for somebody's success while patiently waiting on mine, right? You feel me? How am I genuinely happy for somebody when I'm waiting on mine? How am I rooting and cheering for somebody when I didn't get it? That's genuine though, but that's difficult. We're humans too. And we have these bones and these feelings, right? That come about, right? Whether they legitimate or not. But I felt some type of way, like, damn, I'm missing out on this. And at the same time, I got to see all my family though. I got to see my cousin I haven't seen in a while. I got to see my uncle, my other uncle. I got to see my son's friends, mom and dad. Got to hang out with them. Got to meet a lot of his classmates' parents. So oftentimes we thinking like we missed that gift. That's their gift. You don't have to be part of that. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, all right, cool. They winning today. Like Inglewood won today. But my business is next to Inglewood. We're like, I do a lot of stuff in Inglewood, but that's not where I am. We haven't got our turn yet. We're gonna get it. We're cool. Then there's many more opportunities that are coming. And the thing that we need to be prepared for understand is we need to start preparing for that. So whatever it is that we need to learn in that process, we need to start learning it now. So when the time does come around again, we're prepared for it. So in that meantime, that's why we started hopping in the food game. We're starting to get it. We know. I sat there and did the math, and like, you can't lose with that right now. The way LA is getting ready to be on fire in terms of entertainment and where we're located, it's a win-win situation. So the thing that the key right now is to do what? Play my position, play our position, learn what we need to learn, embrace where we are, take our time, organic growth, developing our systems, writing them down, recipes, the whole nine, developing our system so that when it does pop, we're ready. We're ready to franchise, we're ready to expand. We got systems in place, branding in place, everything's already locked in. And we haven't embarrassed ourselves, right? And when you do things on a smaller scale, you get a chance to try things, sample things, get feedback on stuff, Make your errors that aren't costly, where there's thousands of people that are just saying, "Oh my God, da 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 da." God knows how to move you along, right? God knows how to get you to where you need to be. God knows how to do all that. That's the key right there is you got to be patient enough to wait your turn. And when I tell you that I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to myself on that one. I got to be patient enough to wait my turn because I get impatient. I think everybody else going, I got to go. I'm a competitor by nature. So when competitors by nature, they see a ball or they ready to go. Let's go, right? Let's compete. Now, oh, the best is out here. I think I'm one of them too. Let's go, right? And that's how we think, alpha, whatever you want to call us. That's how we think. But we gotta take a step back and say, you know what? That's their dance. That's their time to shine. That's their time to get their bag. Just because they're getting their bags distributed doesn't mean it's your time to get yours. So that impatience sometimes will cost you. Gotta let you go. Go ahead, homie. Since you're so impatient with it, you can go ahead and go. And you'll fall on your face. And he'll pick you up. Absolutely. Why would he leave you there? But it'll pick you up enough to where you learn your lesson. Let me fall back and wait my turn. Because I may not be mentally prepared. I may not be financially prepared. I may not be human capitally prepared. And having enough people in there to support my whatever we're doing. There's nothing worse. My wife went to Target this weekend, said it's severely understaffed, lines around the corner. That's a BS experience. So we're not trying to do that right now. So we gotta understand, hey, God may be showing us what the potential can be, where you can take things, right? Where you can take things and all that, but you gotta wait your turn. You gotta learn this, you gotta learn that. You gotta get your McDonald's manager on. 2 years in there flipping burgers and dunking French fries before we let you get the keys to any of these pieces. I was watching Guy Fieri's The Great Chicken thing. And everybody had to go through the motions. Everybody had to learn their steps. Everybody had to take bumps and bruises. It's part of the game, right? When you go back and look, that's why they always say people that have multiple business failures and multiple experiences are the ones who usually bubble and ball in their 50s because you figured it out. I'm 45 right now. I'm still figuring it out. This is still, even though I've been in business, whatever. It's different. Understanding where you are, understanding how to develop things, understanding how to develop systems, a way you're doing business, right? This is what we're supposed to be doing, and we have to be patient with our process. Period. But I'm not going to say that my feelings weren't there, that I wasn't getting frustrated, that I wasn't sitting there being salty about the situation. Like, man, why not me? Why not right now? Am I too late for it? Did I miss my opportunity? I'm just getting started. I'm just coming home from the pen. Damn, am I too late for it? Man, there's stories of people that have started where whatever they had right where they are. Doesn't matter. You got to get started now. Don't let that be the reason. Don't let that be the excuse because of age, because of where I am, because of this and that. Doesn't matter. Like they talk about that dude who was at that Auschwitz, I think it's Auschwitz camp or the concentration camp for the Jews. He talks about that, right? Mentally, you can't be a prisoner of where you at that moment. So it doesn't matter where you are. You got to mentally take yourself out of places. I learned that in the pen. You got to mentally take yourself out of these places or they'll become you, right? You can trick yourself, mind control. I got mind control of a Debo, right? You should. And if Debo, whoever Debo is obviously one of your fears, you need to have mind control over it, even if you're scared of it. Because a lot of times, who ain't scared of failing? Get anxious and anxiety, right? We feeling all type of ways. We thinking, we got to compete. And then the more you start paying attention to that, the more you start to see other people succeed around you because the enemy knows you paying attention to it. So he going to keep giving it to you because this is distracting you from actually accomplishing your goals, which you should be focused on, period. And it's difficult to focus on our goals. We got to get concrete about it. What do you want to accomplish? Are you too late? Hell no. If you got a pen and a Sharpie and you got a plan and you got the universe, ain't there's no timeline. Timelines are a man's construct, right? But there is no timeline. I promise you that. So the thing about it is, don't worry about if you're too late or not. That's irrelevant. What's more relevant is God wants you to get started absolutely right now. Need to get started. Period. And whatever it is, if it's store, creating a sauce, starting a car thing, figure it out. Get started on it, man. Put something down on it. Invest in it. Make some money move. We invested in 2 fryers. Now we're investing in more stuff. Invested in some. We introduced our strawberry lemonade this weekend. So now we introduced that, have a recipe for that, have a dispenser. Now we have another drink item. So I'm figuring it out. I'm reading the book every night when I'm down there in my little lounge. I'm reading that restaurant book. I'm adding things. I'm listening to things that are enhancing my life. I listened to Tavis Smiley, who suggested that you read books that are outside of your context just so you can see how other people think. I'm trying to elevate my language, so I'm constantly trying to work on myself. It's like that forever chisel that you just constantly, just every day, it's just a little tink tink, and you tripping off a little part of yourself. Some of that old you, right? It could be an old thought, it could be an old cat, it could be an old experience, but you need to break out that chisel and start chipping it away from you, right? We talked about cutting people off. Gave you guys a book for that, right? Secrets of the Vine. One of the best books about cutting people off, and it's some biblical stuff. So you can even be justified in not being mean or whatever, right? Then you need to read same guy, same guy, prayer Jabez, right? How you need to pray for things. And I'm not going religious on y'all. I'm telling y'all what got me through stuff. I'm just remembering some of these things, right? Then he has another one. I can't, it's called, oh man, I can't even think of it off the top of my head, but it's where the guy actually goes and tries to discover who he is. And he leaves the town called Familiar. It'll come to me in a second. But he leaves a town called Familiar. One of the best books I've ever read, right? The Dream Giver, Bruce Wilkinson, hands down. And it talks about that journey, how you need to leave the town called Familiar, but you're going to have people in that town trying to keep you there, because if you leave, it leaves a void in their life. So you trying to change is different. I'm just telling you the books that I read, right? To justify you stepping out on faith, to justify you cutting people ass off, dog, and not feeling anything about it. You have to sometimes for your own sanity. I have to move like this, so I need to cut you off for. Damn, I just got the scissors. Yeah. Why? For my bag. Period. This is something wrong with this. You know what I mean? It's making me think some certain type of way, and I need to be in a certain mental state in order for me to accomplish these goals. Everything that I've read has coming back to me. 4 Agreements, all these things that I've read multiple times, Dream Giver, Magic of Thinking Big, all these things have their part in my life today. Then they get confirmed by other books, like by Will Smith, who reads the same type of books, The Alchemist, etc., etc. All these things are related to how you think, are related to your mind. So you want to keep that thing nice and sharp. And the way you keep that polished, by constantly adding information to it on a day-to-day basis. Always be learning. I used to walk around with that t-shirt all the time. Always be learning. Always be learning. Always be reading. And the reason, you want to add. I could tell when I talk to people who haven't read. It's obvious. I'm like, come on, man. We ain't talking about nothing. But somebody who's well-read has a book suggestion for you on a consistent basis. Hey, man, have you read this title? Nah, damn. Put me up on something. And that's kind of when we're going back to that, it's kind of talking about environment. So am I too late? I don't think so. You could change your circle of friends. You could change where you go publicly. You could change what you interpret. You could change what you're going after all the time, anytime. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that you believe it. That's the thing. It doesn't matter what anybody else believes. And I know you've heard that before. Everybody's talked about that. But what matters more importantly in anything in life is what you actually believe about yourself. Period. So if you believe you're too late, then you're absolutely right. If you believe, man, my timing is perfect. I'm seasoned, I'm checked. I don't need to go to the club. I can more focus on the things that are more important in my business. I'm at the house. I'm married now. So I'm not running the streets. I don't have no tabs. You know what I'm saying? There's different ball game. And when you're doing things like that, you start to reassess. Am I too late? Nah. I would have been too early. I would have been too early. And that's the thing. I always go back to that time when me and my wife, we wanted to move to Moreno Valley. It was a lake out there and somewhere in like in Riverside or somewhere. And we just wanted it so bad and was so disappointed. We got to the point we were so desperate. We was about to take some foreclosure house that was tore up and we just wanted it so bad, but God kept preventing it from happening. He was like, nah, Joe. Nah, man. Nah. That ain't y'all. That ain't y'all. Nah, y'all straight. I'm gonna make y'all thug it out for a couple of years. Y'all gonna be real broke. Real broke. You're gonna get cars repoed. You're gonna get all this stuff happening to you. Eviction notices, 3 day to pay. I'm gonna take you through all that. And then I'm gonna give you what I'm supposed to give you. But I'm gonna make you understand the importance of it. I'm gonna make you understand why you're doing things the way you're supposed to be doing them. I'm gonna make you understand that you have to go through things. It's not the finish line. It's the man. Look at all the stuff that I'm going through. How am I changing myself? I didn't even know I could do this. I'm challenging my body. I'm challenging my mind. I didn't know I can go through all this. I've heard stories about this, but I thought they were bullshitting. I've heard stories about people getting evicted, slipping in their cars. Well, I got stories too. I got food stamp stories. I got you name it. Broke. So it hasn't always been sweet. That's why I'm like, man, I just use myself as an example. I go back and look at my old journal back in college when I was getting stuff taken out my bank account. That's what keeps me going, right? Looking at my history, not the finish lines. The finish line, I don't even know what that looks like because we're not finished. But at the same time, it's these points in life. It's it's the difficulty. That's what makes you great. That's what builds character. That's what makes your story unique. Nobody had a story like mine. And it's being developed every day to make sure it's unique and like nobody else's. So when they're getting their bag, like we saw this weekend, you got to be happy to know you're going to get the same type of celebration. When God got his bag for you, when he's getting ready to deliver, you're going to get the same type of bells and whistles. Do not think he's going to shortchange you. Now, you get there raining on somebody else's party. You get to hating on them from a distance. You get to acting like you don't see their blessing. Your teeth don't show. You might get that same return feeling. Wonder why everybody looking at you crazy. Ain't nobody loving it when you winning. Because that sucks when you have to win alone. When nobody with you, when nobody cheering you on and rooting for the homie. That's a sucky feeling. Not that it's going to stop anything, but at the same time, you still want people to love you, right? We can act like we can do things on an island, but we social creatures by nature. We need people. We can't do it by ourselves. I'm going to do it by myself. I got it out the mud. Man, please. Come on now. Stop lying. Somebody helped you. Somebody hooked you up, or you wouldn't be here. Period. You understand? So that's the thing. And if you're still here, is it too late? No. Or else it'd be too late. That's the key. If you still here, you still breathing, you still got ideas, you still dreaming, you ain't done. And no, you're not too late. God's busy lining up the opportunity to be aligned specifically for you so you don't mess it up. It's not for anybody else. They can't fit. These are unique, custom dreams. and they're for you only. They're not for anybody else. So he can't do that for anybody else. You dig? So that's why it's so important for us to chill. As hard as it may be, as difficult as it is to swallow, we need to chill. We need to chill out and not let that bother us. Not let it bother us and actually be happy for the cat that's winning because the blessings are still being handed out. That's the thing. Like I talk about this in my classes. I said if there's a competitor who got a line out the door, then that means there's interest in your product. You just need to figure out how to get a line out your door. Period. You understand? That's the key right there. You need to figure that part out. You just ain't figured it out yet. And yeah, man, everybody goes through storms. You know what I mean? Storm, we didn't have, I tell you, storm, what? We've been through it. Like I said, go outside, car gone. What? Gone. On like birthdays and stuff with gifts in there. That just imagine that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that comparing somebody's plight to, I'm just saying, homie. If you going through a storm, know that the sun is on the horizon. It's coming. And it's gonna be sweet because you're gonna appreciate it. If you had sun all the time, you start looking at the sun, here this fool come again. Oh, sun again. Start neglecting it. But you gotta have the storms in order to appreciate that beautiful sun that God's gonna deliver to you. Right? It's gonna get your tan right. Right? But it's the storms that make us appreciate the good times. You gotta have patience. That is a virtue, and it's not just something cliche to say that sounds cool. Practice patience in every way you can. In the grocery store, practice patience. Let somebody go in front of you. Right? Gas line, let somebody go in front of you. Practice it in small little chunks. Then you'll get better and better at it. Know your time is coming. And oftentimes when you do that in a grocery store, you'll notice like, oh, okay, I let somebody go in front of me. They end up going longer than once you move over to the other line. Like, oh, okay, they open up a new line for me. That's how it is with God. Let somebody go, man. Let them get their turn, dog. Let them get that, dog. I know if you getting a blessing, I know I'm getting one. You feel me? If you getting one, mine's gonna be gravy. Mine's gonna be sweet. That's not because of you, but that's because God's still in the blessing business. He still got a gang of blessings, and I know mine's coming. Because all I've been trying to do is be a blessing to other people. That's it. That's all I got. Right? So that's that's the foundation right there. So am I late? No, you're right on time wherever you're at. Because the lessons are being handed out at every level. It's not a cohort. Right? You're not trying to catch up with somebody. Your lessons are for you and they're on your own pace, right? On demand lessons from God. Pick them up when you want to, right? Whenever you're ready, he got it for you wherever you are. Get popping. Get out a pencil, get cracking. And it starts with writing the goals down, making that agreement with the universe. You're going to hear me keep saying it. You're like, this dude is on some Spazar, Quasar. No. I'm on some magical stuff and that we're magicians and that we can create our own magic. Working with God. God is the plug. He's going to give you the rabbit. He's going to give you the flowers. He's going to give you the girl to cut in hair. All that. He's going to supply all that for you. You just got to believe you can pull off the trick. And the trick is getting to your goals, to your dreams, period. So you need to convince yourself and everybody around. And then, matter of fact, not even everybody around you. More importantly, yourself, that you're worthy of it, that you're worthy to receive that gift. That you can, whatever it is, achieve it. Doesn't matter. There's no timeline. There's no limit. There's none of that. All that stuff is created mentally. It's in the mind. Other than that, let's get our alchemists on. We can create whatever we want. Whatever we want. Look at Will Smith. I promise you read that book. That dude is crazy. And what he created and just the serendipitous moments that landed him to where he is to this day. Right? And that's the thing, right? He talked about that in that book, man. Learn it, tell him, yeah, and learn that shit on that night. Because these moments are God set up, right? And you miss that moment, you don't know what kind of God timing that he had in store for you. You don't know what was coming. Take that, go there, right? Don't blow it off. You don't know who you're gonna meet. So that showing up part, we talked about that many episodes ago, but the art of showing up. Why that's so important. You don't know when God's gonna deliver your bag. So you need to be present. Period. Show up. Say what's happening. You don't have to stay all day. But if God is nudging you to make a move, and it doesn't, what I mean by showing up, that doesn't mean going to a party or a barbecue. That means showing up, getting up in the morning and going to make some stuff pop. I talked to you guys about the hustling days. We used to have to go get in traffic to make money move. Money don't just sit there and keep coming to you. Period. I've seen cats do it, but eventually the police come. You got to do it in motion and create energy by motion, by getting in traffic, by blessing others. Oh man, let me throw you something. Let me get some money moving. The homie back in the day with a homie, he didn't have no work. You throw him a queue, let him get it off. He liable to get somebody who have 10, 15 grand before they run off to somebody else. Now all them fades are coming to you because you did a favor. That's how we used to get down back in the day, but not anymore. We can flip that. But you still bless somebody, right? So that they're in a position. So you give them the information so that they bubble, right? You tell them what's happening. You show them the ropes on how they can make this pop. I was telling cats in the radio industry about podcasting 10 years ago. We did this. We started this in 2017, right? 5 years in the game. Started it. So I started my own. But we've been on that grind. Been trying to tell people. Now some of them are trying to take advantage of it. Period. And I'm like, get more of it. Because the more you buy, I know you don't have to give me credit. I ain't looking for that. That's ego. Ego be like, where my credit at, dog? You ain't gonna give me a nah. As long as me and God keep score. I'd rather him keep score than anybody. He keeps score. He keep a proper score too. Keep track of fouls. Forgive you for some fouls. Right? Still got your bag, homie. Don't trip. Still right in here for you, man. You just need to get to this point. Right? Before you can even have access to almost like a video game. You need to get to this level before you have access to this. And you need to get to that level mentally, spiritually. Spiritually, more importantly, because if we have moral conflict internally, we're not going to know what to do with the blessing when it comes. So if we got moral conflict popping internal, we need to get that together and straighten that out before we move on. And a lot of times our blessing won't get to us without us adjusting that moral compass and getting that together so that we are on the right path. And that's the key right there, period, is making sure our foundation is proper, that our moral compass is going in the right direction, and that we believe in ourselves. And of course, the storm is going to come. The enemy can't stand when you own one. The enemy does not like when you're moving in the right direction. So you got to make sure that you prepare yourself, arm yourself with the tools that you're going to need, your advisors, your books, your journals. This is a journey. Your food, right? Your water. You getting ready to walk out on faith with nothing but that. And you got to go through hell, basically, because the enemy's going to do whatever it takes to stop you, to throw you off your path, to get you to chill. On that path, you're going to see a lot of your past because that's all he has to deal with. You're not going to see a lot of your future. And in that book, The Dream Giver, they got the spot in there called the wastelands where you can't see either way. And that's when you're going to have to go internal, really rely on your faith 100%, dig down deep and understand that it's coming. I know once I get out of this shit, I'll be straight. Once I move on, I'm good. Once I get through the clouds, I could see where I'm headed. Because other people's, I'm like, man, I could see a shape. I could see, he over. I could see something. We on. Period. So that's the thing, man. And I had to deal with that. I had to think, am I too late? I'm like, man, I'm in the city, homie. That's the first Super Bowl. We getting other stuff. Don't trip. We about to get the The All-Star game final, we'll be up. Don't trip. It ain't gonna be the last, homie. I'm just showing you. So don't catch the vapors just yet. I'm just showing you. And when they show you, pay attention and be happy when others are winning. You got to show your teeth. And not on no mean mug or no grit. You got to be happy for somebody when they get the W, homie. And understand that the blessing is still coming to you. Period. That will conclude our weekly tap in. From this point on, we'll be on at 7 until further notice. So I just want to let you guys know I am still reading. I know y'all didn't get this last time. I'm still reading Think Again with Adam Grant. Very good book. Main reason I'm reading is for my vocabulary. I'm trying to get that up, but I got to start switching over to more academic journals now because I need to finish my research paper on cannabis. Find things that you're interested in. Go after your dreams. Full freaking throttle. We got one life, not 1.5. Let's do it. Do it now. Time waits. It's never going to be perfect. Go, go, go. I'm tapping out.